Hello everyone, Buddha or Mercury is turning retrograde on the 29th of December right up until Jan the 18th, just at the time of year when people want to start making plans, new resolutions for New Year. Mercury is going to put a stopper to many of these things, so I'll be talking about this. And by the way, don't worry, coming up very soon on my channel, predictions for 23 for all signs. Working on that right now for you. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below to get those predictions and of course to learn more about the ancient Vedic system known as Jyotish. Let's begin. A quick look at astrology, everybody. On the 29th of December, we have Mercury turning retrograde at 0 Capricorn, just entered there in a combustion with his dear friend Venus and close to Saturn, friend to both. So actually, it's not an unhappy situation. There's a very optimistic and practical turn to this combination of planets making plans, having financial dealings ready to go, except that as soon as Mercury turns retrograde and goes back into Sagittarius, the opposite sign to his house of Gemini, it all begins to unravel. You see, Mercury, planet of business, money affairs, practicality, when he gets into his opposite sign of Sagittarius, he becomes very weakened. He just completely loses his way. This is sign of high philosophy, high thinking, and the big picture, all of which Mercury just cannot deal with because he's focused on the practical matters at hand. You could say Mercury even loses the plot a little bit when he gets into Sagittarius, and especially at this time of year, New Year, when the sun is in Sagittarius. New Year is an optimistic time, isn't it? Why? Because the sun is in Sagittarius. That's why we're using the Vedic system. The sun is not in Capricorn. All of those New Year parties, resolution, have got everything to do with Sagittarius, optimism and seeing the big picture. Unfortunately, this year, New Year resolutions made at the end of December, beginning of Jan are definitely not going to work for long. They're going to be seen to be completely impractical at a very fast pace indeed with Mercury in this sign. So be very careful about plans which you make around New Year period. So as well as many plans coming unstuck, we can expect two areas to be definitely impacted. One is foreign travel because Sagittarius is about foreign lands, and the other is higher education. Foreign travel and maybe aviation particularly, but foreign travel generally will become disturbed during this Mercury retrograde, and all forms of education, particularly higher education. There's a great deal of confusion and backtracking going on. And definitely have a lot of caution with your financial affairs, everybody. Mercury not happy in this sign, so he rules business dealings, investment, stock market. It's all Mercury, and when he's gone into Jupiter's sign, everything seems to be moving fantastically forward. There are fantastic opportunities, but some of them will seem a little bit too good to be true. You can be certain they are. So be very cautious about signing on dotted line. Any investments, business startups are definitely not favored with this retrograde Mercury in Sagittarius. But don't fear, whether it's money matters, education, travel, whatever it is you are planning, when Mercury gets to the combustion of the sun, the information you need to make better plans will definitely come. And the exact date of that combustion is the 7th of Jan 23. So near to this date, a bit before, a bit after maybe, you will definitely get the message you need. When Buddha Mercury conjuncts with Ravi the sun, there is a mystical combination happening, very often written about in Shastra, where information comes that was hidden before. Ravi gives this information to Mercury. This will be personal to you. It will come to you in many ways. Somebody may say something, you may read something, hear something, or even in a dream, but you will get the information you need to make the right plans from this moment forward. How to use the readings, everyone. We're using a Vedic horoscope here, the sidereal position of your moon and ascendant. Read from both. If you have a Western horoscope, take away 23 degrees from the position of your ascendant and your moon to make sure you have the correct sign. Or you can definitely use the website at the bottom of my description box, David Guru, to bring up your actual Vedic chart. See the position of your moon and ascendant. Don't forget, all the timestamps are below the video. For Aries, Moon and Ascendant, Mercury is the lord of your 3rd house and your 6th house. Because he rules these two quarrelsome houses, he gets you into some pretty deep contentions, off-the-cuff remarks, and basically uptightness with people you are conversing with generally. That's what's going to happen definitely during the next 3 weeks. It will affect especially this time conversations with your father, because Mercury is in 9th house. Conversations with your sibling, aspecting 3rd house, even with your neighbors. Watch out for many misunderstandings, miscommunication, even misinformation. Remain patient and don't make off-the-cuff remarks because you might regret them. Whatever is happening with these people, there is definitely some big misunderstanding going on. But around the time of the combustion, as I've spoken about earlier on this video, around 7th of Jan, information becomes very clear. Maybe startling to you, new information from these people in your life, but it definitely clears the air. That's the main thing. And Mercury is in the 9th house itself, of course, Sagittarius. So definitely travel plans will have to be revised during this 3-week transit. And there will be many delays and headaches, basically, especially in foreign travel. Now, Mercury rules your 6th house. Is going to make you very impatient, very stressed, very on edge. All of these delays and frustrations, take it easy. They're going to show you a much easier path forward. Just go with these delays. Don't let them disturb you too much. During the end of the year and the beginning of January, education courses, as I say, are going to have a lot of confusion. And for you, it's going to be mega confusion and a bit of frustration on your education course. Once again, it's going to write itself in no time. Don't make any precipitous changes to your education course. You're actually going to find information about it that clears up so many of your previous frustrations. Taurus, Moon and Ascendant. Mercury is normally a very good planet for you. He rules your 2nd and your 5th house. He gives you so much business skill, creativity, gives you profit in life. But when he's retrograde in the 8th house of your chart, he's going to give some disturbance, definitely. He will disturb relationships during this 3-week period right up until middle of Jan with your in-laws, with your family, close family, with your financial affairs, with your spouse, all sorts of backtracking, misunderstanding between you. And if you are in business, there are some definite financial hiccups. So listen to what I said earlier on in this video. Do not make precipitous financial moves. Stock market is actually ruled by this 8th house. Avoid, and Mercury is your 5th house lord of gambling. Avoid anything which seems too good to be true financially. It absolutely is. Wait until you get more information. As I've said, minimum the 7th of January onwards. At least give it that amount of time. But Taurians are excellent financial planners, so you will just feel so much frustration and become a little bit impatient around financial dealings. That's the main thing. Watch communication with your family, though. Mercury is your lord of speech. Things may be said to your close family that you regret. Do not lose temper. Stay calm. There may be problems with wills, legacies, and inheritances also for some of you during this period. And finally, Mercury is your lord of food intake. He's aspecting himself retrograde in a not good placement. So please be careful. Don't expect too much of yourself with New Year resolutions about diet. There is something not working in that new dietary regime or in your current food and drink intake. Be very careful about foods that are not suitable for you as well during this 3-week period. And 2nd house rules the mouth generally, so teeth problems, toothache problems may come up as well. Once again, get the right consultation to get the right treatment. Give it time, get a second opinion. Gemini, Moon and Ascendant. 3 times a year your lord goes retrograde and you have to backtrack on so many things, but this time it's really going to get to you seriously. Why? Because Mercury is in the 7th house from your moon and definitely from your ascendant. From ascendant, it is a Modakastana position. Mercury has become so weakened here that you find yourself at a slight disadvantage, to say the least. If you have health concerns, definitely get second consultation. Mercury is retrograde in the actual house of consultants, affecting the house of your body. Mercury rules your 4th house of home, going retrograde again. People you are depending on to help you with repairs, home move, property deals, all sorts of consultations regarding the home will be held up considerably during this 3-week period. So for all Gemini, home moves or home improvements are delayed. Business dealings ruled by this marketplace house are definitely at the worst time to happen. So try not to make any major business decision. It will definitely be to your long-term disadvantage. Just a little more time and you will have all the information you need. Of course, your Lord being retrograde in the actual house of spouse, there's going to be some miscommunication, misunderstandings, definitely with your significant other, spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever it is, people close to you, even business partners. Things will just be not straightforward at all. You will feel very frustrated by this, but hold on tight and don't have precipitous conversations because your Lord is in a weakened position here. Things which you say you may deeply regret. Don't forget, as I've said earlier on in the video, around January the 7th, very important information comes to you, probably from significant others as well. That will put everything completely straight between you. You will see the way forward now. You will come to some agreement that was not possible before. Wait patiently for this new information. For Cancer Moon, Cancer Ascendant, Mercury is the Lord of your 12th house and your 3rd house. He definitely brings some challenging situations and he's gone into the 6th house. But actually Mercury likes to be here because it's his natural house of Virgo. But he's in Sagittarius where he's not happy, as I've said. So you're going to have some issues with health, some issues in your workspace, and definitely you're going to have some sibling and neighbor concerns, some of you. Definitely health concerns which you thought were completely resolved come up again, causing you some worry and concern because Mercury aspects the house of stress, phobias and fears. Do not be fearful. You will get new information about health concern during this 3-week period, beginning of January. It will definitely clear some of your misgivings. There's a lot of competition and misunderstandings, even misinformation in your workspace. It makes you just feel like running away from the whole situation because you don't like this sort of contention at all. Once again, there is new information coming to you, probably from your work colleagues, people who you work closely with, which will clear the air eventually, especially around 7th of January onwards. Take this information, work with it, and don't get yourself into any open confrontation. And Mercury aspecting the 12th house of foreign lands. Be very careful if you are visiting there. If you are traveling during this 3-week period, there will be many delays, many frustrations. Be prepared for these. For Leo Moon, Leo Ascendant, Mercury rules all of your financial considerations, both your resources and your income. And he's gone retrograde in the 5th house. You're going to be thinking about taking a risk in regard to more income coming in or stabilizing resources. Avoid it though, definitely. What seems to be a really good calculated risk may be something not worthwhile considering at all. Wait at least until Mercury combusts with the Sun to see reality of any gambling, risk-taking, speculation. You must do this to be absolutely certain you are not getting yourself into a sticky situation. There's a lot of stress in connection to your family members. Mercury rules your 2nd house of family. Stress, miscommunication, misunderstandings all around the New Year period. Children may be having issues as well that cause you an extra amount of concern. Stay patient with all of these concerns because definitely when Mercury combusts with the Sun, your Lord, in the 5th house of your chart, you will get resolution. You will get new information from family members, children, etc., which completely resolve some of these concerns, or new information comes to you putting to rest any of concerns about younger children. If you are a student doing any revision in this time, it's going to drive you, well, perfectly potty, basically, because Mercury retrograde in the house of learning, you'll think you don't understand anything which you've learned. Again, it's going to resolve itself at the combustion with the Sun, 7th of Jan. Stay calm. Don't get yourself into any panic situation over education or learning. If you are involved in any romantic situation, love affairs ruled by the 5th house, Mercury shows a complete miscommunication between you and your loved one. It could be to do with friendship network circles, misunderstandings, misquotations, anything such as that. Don't make judgments about anybody who is close to you during this time because you are just not hearing the total situation. For Virgo Ascendant, Virgo Moon, your Lord Mercury is retrograde in the 4th house of your chart. Actually, it's going to benefit you more than you could think. Yes, there will be sudden events in your home life, sudden changes of plans to repairs, etc., to moving home or anything to do with domestic change. It's going to go into reverse motion. Now, Virgos are so meticulous that their Lord going retrograde in this 4th house will cause you a little bit of panic to begin with. Definitely from Ascendant, because Mercury is gone into a Maracastana position. You will feel that all of your plans, perfectly laid plans around property dealing, moving home, home improvements, repairs, whatever it is, have gone haywire through no fault of your own. But actually, it's a good thing, because you will get information that was not available to you before during this transit, which will make everything far better than it would have been previously. There's also stress in your work situation because Mercury opposes 10th house of career. There could be misunderstandings, miscommunication, all sorts of misquoting even happening with your boss, superior, people that you work closely with. You will feel in a very topsy-turvy mood about this, very frustrated indeed. There may be big delays with your career move. Interviews may be delayed. Interviews may not give you the correct information about the job. Check that out carefully. Or you may have some delay in promotion or important job change. Once again, though, because Mercury is your Lord, these delays in your career work to your benefit. Don't become frustrated. You will get new information about job promotion, job situation, about work colleagues, even about the boss, which puts you in a completely different frame of mind. Be very patient about this. For Libra Moon and Ascendant, most definitely travel plans are going to get pretty chaotic during the end of December, beginning of January for you, certainly, because Mercury is your 12th house lord and your 9th house lord. He's all about foreign lands or even short distance travel because he's actually in the house of localized movement. So generally, you are going to have many frustrations wherever you are traveling during this period. There will be many miscommunications with your siblings, with your cousins, even with your local neighbors, people living near to you. Misquotations, misunderstandings, stalled communications. It's going to cause you a certain amount of stress throughout the transit period. In addition, Mercury aspects a house of father, and he rules that house as well. So some definite miscommunication with father may occur, difficult conversations, or father may be having some trouble during this period. And of course, 9th house rules teachers, mentors, gurus, those who inspire you, those who teach you. So students going to have a very difficult start to the year because Mercury retrograde aspecting house of higher education and learning. But staying patient with all educational confusion during this 3-week period will definitely help you because you will get new information from your teachers, lecturers, gurus even, which help you see the correct way forward in your learning situation. You'll be very glad that you've received this. It will resolve so many outstanding problems. If you are a business person in any self-employment, Mercury is your 12th house lord. He can cause some financial losses to you, some concern to you, some worries to you, but do not be fearful because Mercury is in the actual house of new initiative. New ideas come to you during this retrograde period, especially around the combustion, 7th of Jan. Follow these through. They can be most profitable. Scorpio, Moon and Lagna, quite a tense New Year period as Mercury goes retrograde into the 2nd house of your chart. Family affairs, joint finances with your spouse, business concerns, wills, legacies, inheritance. There's all sorts of miscommunication, misinformation going on, and it's going to give you quite a bit of stress. Now, normally Scorpios are very intuitive around financial affairs, very, very good managers of your finances, but it's all going to let you down with this Mercury retrograde. You're not seeing things clearly about new investments or business decisions. Hold tight on them during this Mercury retrograde period. But 2nd house rules family, 8th house rules in-laws. Watch your temper because you may say things you regret. There are many misunderstandings, miscommunication with many family members during this period. Watch things because you could easily say something which you deeply regret. And these misunderstandings caused by Mercury retrograde end of the year will also affect friendships because Mercury rules your friendship network circles. Once again, have patience and watch what you say. Don't forget that this Mercury retrograde will combust with the Sun 7th of Jan. Then your financial problems will begin to unravel. You will see the new information you've needed to make a good decision, and new information from family members, in-laws, friendship network circles. It's all going to be startling, but very, very helpful to you. Don't forget, Mercury is your lord of income as well. So going retrograde, you may feel that you are seriously losing out on some income during this 3-week period. Once again, you will get new information to put everything straight for you. And finally, second house rules your diet. What's your food intake? New Year period, first weeks of January. You may eat something which is definitely not good for you. Any new dietary regime, any new diet which you start, way of eating is not suitable either and may have to be completely revised. Sagittarius Moon and Ascendant. Sagittarius, you have Mercury as your 10th house lord career, but your 7th house lord partner, spouse and business partner. There's some very surprising information coming in your career area and from your personal relationship area as well. And it's going to throw you a little bit off course, but because Mercury is in your sign, you'll sort it out better than you could expect. To begin with, during the 3-week period from the 29th of December, Mercury will send you into a bit of a spin, a bit of frustration and even anger with other people because the way plans are simply not going the way you expected. So any big change in your working life or new job situation gets off to a very shaky start, end of December, beginning of Jan. There was something unknown to you, unexpected about this whole change. But stay patient, because even though it's going to be a little bit confusing for you, causing you a great deal of anxiety, Mercury is your 7th house lord, it actually brings you anxiety. You will quickly find that this information about career or about business opportunity is helpful to you, even though it does mean stalling projects in the short term. In your personal relationships, so there's going to be quite a lot of coming and going. Partner is going to have information to give to you, which is surprising. Perhaps you don't even grasp it to begin with. It is so surprising, but it's going to be helpful to your onward journey together. Must be open communication though, because Mercury opposing 7th house from your own 1st house where Sun is makes you quite demanding of your spouse, of your partner, even of your business partner during this time. You want things to go your way and you get quickly frustrated when it is not happening. So certainly New Year period begins in a very frustrating way for Sagittarius Moon and Ascendant. Many miscommunications, misquotations, misunderstandings with so many people. But guess what? It's going to work out far better because January 7th onwards, combustion of the Sun, Mercury in your 1st house. This new information coming from other people, maybe from job as well, is so helpful to you. Now you feel much more confident making new decisions moving forward with your life. For Capricorn Moon and Ascendant, Mercury retrograde in the 12th house of your chart. Many worries, concerns and anxieties seem to be assailing you all of a sudden in the New Year period going on into the first weeks of January. These may be about money concerns, expenses, or about health issues as well, and they are causing you a great deal of distress. But don't worry, Mercury's combustion with the Sun in your 12th house gives you surprising information about health issues, about monetary concerns, and even about deep spiritual pursuits, which actually opens up your mind to a totally new understanding. So practical matters may be confused, but they will quickly unravel. Have patience if you are Capricorn Moon or Ascendant. If you have pets, small animals, Mercury rules them and he is in the house opposite. So pets may be having health issues, may be having concerns. Once again, new information, 7th of January onwards gives you all the right diagnosis, all the right information to make things much better. So basically, don't get yourself into a real anxious whirlpool because Mercury in your 12th house increases anxiety tenfold. So during the end of December, New Year, and all of January, beginning of January rather, you will be keeping many things to yourself because Sun and Mercury, 12th house, makes you very secretive. But that's a good thing. You need to sort things out privately before you commit yourself, especially in financial dealings. In fact, this Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius, 12th house, turns you inward, turns you into spiritual experience, meditation, calming exercises, time on your own. You need time alone now to think things through and to have peace in your mind. This will help you ultimately and provide a new way of dealing with stresses for the whole year ahead. In the meantime, though, don't forget Mercury retrograde in the 12th house of your chart, ruling foreign travel. There will be many delays, frustrations for many Capricorns traveling during this 3-week period. Aquarius, Moon and Lagna, Mercury's retrograde in your house of friendship, network, circles, plans for the future, future income, job interviews. There's going to be delays, confusion in all of these areas. Watch out for misunderstandings, arguments, all sorts of misinformation, even misquoting coming from your friendship network groups. It all makes things very much up in the air with your plans in regard to your friends and even in regard to your children, should you have them. Children are having health problems, issues, concerns, and it's all very, very stressful. If you have plans for interviews, for job promotion, it's definitely going to be held back for a while. And information coming from your work colleagues is equally confusing and causing you stress. But the good news, 7th of January, with the combustion of the Sun and Mercury in Sagittarius, will resolve these friendship network issues. You will finally see the truth about some big misunderstanding. Also with your children, revelations around 7th of Jan will help heal some of these difficult problems. If you are seeking new income again, there will be many frustrations, many misunderstandings happening in your job situation, with your work colleagues, even with interviews. Something is not open. Something is not being truly revealed in these situations, which will be after the 7th of Jan. So really, new job situation is not quite what it seems around this time. And Mercury also affects business affairs as well. So business profits may go down. Business situation may seem up in the air. For some of you, income is decreasing. Once again, you need to be patient about this. It is showing you new way forward business-wise, which will definitely come after Jan the 7th. Be very careful, Aquarians, about taking business or financial risk. Mercury opposes house of gambling and he's retrograde. Things look too good, they are too good. Don't take big financial risk. Finally, if you are starting a new romantic association, some of you, or have an ongoing romance, it's going to be big miscommunications between you, misunderstandings. It's going to make you sort of take a step back from the whole relationship, make you quite detached, actually. Hold fire. You do not have the complete information. It will be revealed, as I've said, after the combustion on January the 7th. For Pisces, Moon, Ascendant, Mercury is the lord of your 7th house. He rules your business dealings and your partnership. When he goes retrograde, endless misunderstandings with your spouse and in your business situation happen. But this time, he's in the 10th house of your chart. It's going to be quite serious. But the good news is that Mercury likes to be in this 10th house. So it's going to affect long-term career plans as well. So misunderstandings with your spouse about your career, what you are doing, even their career, what they are doing. Merging plans for the future has become difficult. There are big misunderstandings though. Wait until after Jan the 7th. Then you'll be able to have much more constructive, happy communications with your spouse. Don't tie yourself up in a knot before that date. In fact, this whole Mercury retrograde and Sun combustion happening in your 10th house is very future orientated. You are ruled by Jupiter, lord of this 10th house as well. So you are thinking about new career moves, new business moves for the future. And even though some of those plans have to take a back turn during this retrograde period, you will ultimately get the information to make them even more prosperous and even more successful during this period. In fact, all the new information I've been discussing on this video, check it out previously, talking about the Sun-Mercury combustion, will give Pisces such important information for your career that you have not had for some time. Misunderstandings with the boss, work colleagues, all about future of your career will be completely wiped away, and you'll be feeling much happier about this. So although Mercury Sun combustion is going to show you definitely new career, new job, new future, it's going to cause some confusion in your home situation. Mercury retrograde aspecting 4th house of home, delays to home move, repairs, property deals, anything about the home becomes confusing and frustrating during the whole transit period. But being patient about these home factors really helps, because once again, combustion Sun and Mercury shows you the right information to make home moves even more successful for you. And of course, 4th house is your mother. So Mercury Sun here aspecting this house, mother may be having problems, or your communication with her may become disturbed. Once again, everything comes much more clearer after the combustion date of the 7th of Jan. Check out the other important transits up on your screen right now, happening going into 2023. And don't forget, predictions for the whole year coming up very soon. Sub to my channel so you get those. Goodbye for now, and God bless everyone.